Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you that how to configure VLAN, which stands for Virtual Local Area Network. And before going to discuss about this VLAN, I want to give some brief information about actually why we require a VLAN in the network. So basically, see what happens is, if you're using the switch in the network, for example, I have port number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, some 5 ports I have, and here some multiple computers are connected. Now, in the switching network, see, whenever any computer want to send the data, by default what will happen, that information will get forward to all the computers inside in my network. The reason here is what? By default in the switch, we have something known as VLAN 1. VLAN 1. So VLAN is just a group. By default for that VLAN, there is a one number, that is a VLAN 1. So by default, how many ports I have here right now? 5 ports. So all the ports will be the member of by default. It's a part of VLAN 1. So in this 5 ports, if any one computer will generate the broadcast, that broadcast will be get effect to the entire VLAN. So generally I can say what, whenever you send any kind of information, that information get forwarded to all the devices in my network. So here, if I connected some multiple switches in my network, that information will come to this particular port also, and that will get forwarded to this switch also. And this switch also will forward that information to all the computers in my network. So with this one single broadcast information, the entire network is getting disturbed. So in this, I want to reduce this broadcast. For that, what I need to do is, I need to go for a multiple VLANs. Okay, and basically, in the real-time scenarios, like in a production network, we are maintaining some different type of departments, like sales department, marketing departments. Okay, so this what actually will do is what, sales department computer should be present in so and so VLAN. Marketing department should be present in the so and so VLAN. So whenever the sales department generating any broadcast, that will not come to the marketing department. So by default, it will get flow. Because by default in our entire switch we have is what, VLAN 1. But if I want to ensure that the broadcast from the sales should not go to the marketing, then I need to go for what, different VLANs. So for creating different VLANs, see, I've taken this setup. Now in my setup here, see right now, for my switch I have one IP address, that is 192.168.20.50, and my switch name is switch 50. Now in this, I want to configure this two different VLANs. By default it will be VLAN 1. So I want to create VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. So now before going to start that, I want to show you something like see, I've configured the IP address to all my computer like 192.168.20.1, the first computer, 20.2, 20.3, 4, 5, 6. So in a series I've configured IP address to all of them. So what I'll do, I'll go to the first computer, command prompt, I'll do a ping 192.168.20.2. So 2 is my neighbor computer, so I'm getting a reply. 20.3, yes. Then 20.4, yes. And finally 20.5 or 6, you can do anything, fine. So I can able to communicate. Let's check to 6 also, finally. So I can communicate with all of them because all are present what, same network plus same VLAN. But what I'll do is, see, in my network, I'll go to this particular port number 1, and I'll just telnet to my switch. So my switch address 192.168.20.50. CCN is a password. Enable CCN. The first thing here says show VLAN brief. So when you give this command, you can see right now I have VLAN 1 and all the ports are the part of VLAN 1. Okay, so this is only the reason I'm able to communicate with all of them, because the information is getting forwarded from one computer to all the computer, right? Now after this, I'm giving what? Configuration mode. Now here, see, these are the commands you need to run to configure the VLANs. So in this command, VLAN space VLAN number. So this number you can configure from 2 to 1001, any number. Okay, so it's up to you that which VLAN number you want to configure. And the moment after giving the number, once you hit enter, you will enter into the config VLAN mode. There you have to define one name to a VLAN. But see, this command, it's an optional parameter. Okay, it's not required to be compulsory. If you're not giving this name, right now, for example, I'm creating VLAN 10. So by default, it will take the name is what? VLAN 10. So if you're not giving the name also, nothing will happen, right? So it will take the name. So I'll show you that also. So what I'm doing is, see, in the switch 50, VLAN 10, once you give enter, you will enter into the config VLAN mode. There I'm giving what? Namespace, for example, sales, enter. Next, I want to create one more VLAN space 20, namespace. I will not give the name here because as I mentioned, it's an optional parameter. So I want to show you that what output will show you. So after this, let's verify this, show VLAN, enter. So you can see VLAN 10 is a sales, VLAN 20, you're not given any name, but it's taken VLAN 20 as a name. Okay, so it's up to you that what you want to configure. Okay, now after this, see, by default, for my switch, how many ports I have? 24 fast Ethernet are there and 2 gigabit ports are there. So by default, this all the ports are the part of what? VLAN 1. Okay, now what is my requirement here? See, port number 1 and 2 should be the part of VLAN 10, which is the sales department. Port number 5 and 6, that should be in VLAN 20. That's like a marketing department. So what I need to do, I need to make use of this command to move that ports. So to move the ports into VLANs, interface type. In our scenario, my computers are connected through with fast Ethernet. An interface number. So interface number, like for example, if you want to move port number 1, the number should be what? 0 by 1. If you want to move port number 10, it should be what? 0 by 10. Okay. So right now I want to move which port? Port number 1 and 2. So it should be 0 by 1 and 0 by 2. Okay. After that, switch port mode access. Okay. See, whenever you configure any port, for example, right now my fast Ethernet 0 by 1, if I configured as a what? Mode access. Whenever you configure any port as a mode access, that particular port will carry only one VLAN traffic. Okay. Now here, this one VLAN can be what? VLAN 10, VLAN 20, VLAN 30, VLAN 40, anything. But it will carry only one VLAN traffic. It means that this particular port number so-and-so will be the member of only the particular so-and-so VLAN. So that particular VLAN can be 10, 20, 30, 40, whatever it is. Now after that, switch port access VLAN number. This VLAN number, see, this port number 1 should be the member of which VLAN? VLAN 10. So right now I need to define this VLAN number here. So once you execute this 3 command, this particular port number 1 will be the member of VLAN 10. Right? So let's go for doing this concept. So now here what I'm doing, configuration mode, interface, fast Ethernet, 0 by 1. Here I need to give the command switch port mode access, then switch port access VLAN. In which VLAN you want to configure this one? That is a VLAN 10. So port number 1 should be in VLAN 10. Enter. Now what I can do again, port number 2, switch port mode access VLAN 10. So port number 1 and 2 should be the member of VLAN 10. So I have configured that. You see, these 3 commands, how many ports I want to move into VLAN 10, that many times I am giving the command. Now right now in VLAN 20 also I want to move the 2 ports here. But see, at a time if you want to move multiple ports, you can make use one command. What is that? Interface, range, fast Ethernet. Now what is the range you want to give? It means how many port numbers you want to give. I want to give port number 5 and 6. So you need to give 0 by 5 space -6. So what will happen? 5 to 6. So right now I have only two ports. For example, if I'm giving 16, 5 to 16, all the ports will be get moved to the so and so VLAN. Okay, so here when you want to move multiple ports at a time in a VLAN, you can make use of this command. So I'm giving 6 here, enter, and you can see it's showing instead of interface, it's showing interface range. It means multiple ports you want to move. So here switch port, mode access, switch port, access, VLAN. What is the VLAN number I want to give? 20, enter. Right, after giving this command to verify this, show VLAN brief, enter. So once you give this command, you can see VLAN 10 sales port number 1 and 2, VLAN 20 we are not given any name, but still the 5 and 6 port numbers are there. So here 1, 2, 5, 6, this port numbers I cannot see in VLAN 1. Why? Because we have moved that all the ports from VLAN 1 to VLAN 10 and 20. Now after this, the verification what I need to do here is, see, I'm going to the first computer again. See, as I have started checking the communication from there, and from starting I'm able to communicate with all of the computer in my network. Now after this, let's do a check communication. 20 dot let's go for 20.2, which is the second computer, enter. I'm getting a communication. Now 20.3. So with 20.3, see right now 20.3, it is a part of which VLAN? VLAN 1. Because port number 3, port number 4 have not moved to any other VLAN. So it will be the part of VLAN 1. So here the thing is what? Once you configure the multiple different VLANs in the switch, after that communication will be there within the VLANs. But communication will be not there between two different VLANs. So here if you check the communication in 20.5, which is my fifth PC, which is in VLAN 20, if I check the communication, I will not get the communication. So with the help of VLAN, I can stop the broadcast in the entire network. So within the VLANs, I can have communication, but the two different VLANs, they will not communicate. Right? So here, there is no communication between those devices now. How to allow the communication, that I'll show in the next coming up videos. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you like this. Please don't forget to share, subscribe and comment. Thank you.